Hello, guys. Welcome back to our third podcast. Tonight we're calling it the Snow Day edition because there was a snow day yesterday. And for today's guest, we have Colin, business owner of Lakeshear. Hi, Colin.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Thanks for having me, guys.
To start off, give them a little bit of background about yourself. How you start barbering, what inspired you to become a barber?
My story is pretty much the same as I think a lot of guys. Started probably about 15 years ago now. Grew up in the Mississauga area. High school, started cutting a couple heads. Game was different than it is now. I think now there's the YouTube tutorials and stuff. We were trial and error. It was the only place you could go to get a fade where you were going to Caribbean spots. We're going to 5 and 10. I'm taking 3 bus transfers getting there.
Yeah, man, I used to do that too because I grew up in Oakville, right?
Yeah.
So I would go to to Nappies.
Yeah, especially from Oakville, there wasn't nothing.
So I would
you're
bus
going extra far.
2 buses just for me to get a haircut. Now I know Shane and stuff, so which is pretty dope.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's what it was. It was starting to cut. I thought the best route for money would be eventually maybe women's hair if I already cutting men's hair when I was cutting a lot of my friends.
Did you ever do women's?
Yeah, so I did my co-op in high school at a salon, and then I started an apprenticeship in a salon, and then I just realized that atmosphere was so not it, to the point that I was oh, this isn't what I want.
Yeah,
I don't think I want to do hair. And then hang out in barbershops more. I was I think it's just that I want to do guys.
How's the politics in the comparison between a barbershop and a hair salon?
Oh, it's completely different. You think that, man, when I was in high school, I thought I was slick. I was yo, I'm gonna get in an industry where it's all girls. I'm gonna talk to girls all day, and no one else is thinking about this. I'm yo, this is sick. I'm gonna wash. I got my credits in high school washing girls' hair. It was good for that.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets really catty, right? You're surrounded by girls. It's almost it's a feminine energy. As we're the barbershop is the opposite of that. Unfortunately, you don't get to just stare and talk to all girls, which is nice.
Did you ever do blowouts and stuff?
No. I did a little bit of I guess on mannequins and stuff and practicing, and I just none of it appealed to me. I had zero interest in that.
Bro, it takes too long for me, in my opinion. The hair salon services and stuff is too long for me. When you do color, it takes 3 hours, or when you do I don't know ombres or even all these chemicals that you have to mix, man. I don't wanna feel like a chemist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's also I don't want to smell stuff. You smell perm juice and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not. Yeah. It ain't for me.
And for guys, it seems once they get their haircut, they're just you show them the mirror and stuff like that, and they're oh, it looks pretty good, And with the girls, I feel it's just gonna be they'll say it's good, but then they'll talk bad about it because they're so accustomed to certain levels of you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I could totally hear that too. Oh.
So right out of high school, you knew you wanted to go into the hair industry.
To be honest, my game plan, I was never really good in school. I knew that school wasn't going to be it. It was definitely going to be a trade or something.
Yeah.
My older brother, he's an engineer, and I saw him rack up crazy school debt. And at the time, I was always hustling and doing quick flip things, trying to looking at money as really quick, okay, everything's a task. How many of these does it take to get that? If I'm charging this for a haircut, how many haircuts is that to buy that? And I think a lot of barbers think like that.
I feel every single barber kind of have the same story, because when I was a kid, when I was in high school, I would sell hats and I would flip it all the time, and I would do all these things.
Your currency is hats when you're looking at how many hats is that if I want to buy those shoes?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly how even when I first started barbering, every time I would buy something, how many haircuts do I have to do for me to be able to afford this stuff? You know what I'm saying?
So my thing was, I looked at school as a crazy expense of that's a lot of haircuts, or that's a lot of hours worked that you're going to have to pay off. So I was what's a free way that I could get to have my school paid for, or just get into making money? And honestly, I wanted to join the military. That was my thing. So I'm you end up with a free education at the end of it if you want to, they'll pay for your education. And I just thought I was kind of always missing a little bit of maybe guidance and structure and discipline. And I've always kind of attracted to challenges. So I thought that would be an ideal thing at the time to do. So I told myself I'd give myself a summer. I got offered a job at a barbershop, and I still didn't think that it was something where you could make viable money really. Mm-hmm. And I ended up working with Roberto, who you guys know. and another guy, Justin, who owns a shop in Streetsville as well, who's done well for himself. He got into
all those
property
Streetville guys,
development
I
and
feel like
stuff,
they're
too.
taking over the whole
Yeah.
barber community, man. Like,
and yeah, it was just like right time, right place. These guys were successful doing stuff, and it just made me realize like, oh, you can use this as seed money, and it was just what I wanted to do. And after the first summer, I built up a good clientele. And
so what made
time
you
flew.
what made you want to open up a store in Oakville?
I've been living in Burlington for like 10, 11 years, 11, maybe even 12 years now probably. And the commute is just kept getting worse driving back to Streetsville. So Streetsville had we had like 24 hair places, not all barbershops, but it was just hair and shawarma. And so
Hair
it
and
was
shawarma.
like, it was just all hair and shawarma. So it was like, I looked at Streetsville or at Oakville as like, it needed more shops. And
Yeah, man.
obviously,
When did you open your shop again?
2020, I signed the lease. January
okay.
2020, like
So
worst
you're
timing
3
possible.
years
So
old,
right when
that's
COVID
good,
hit.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did COVID impact the barber industry, you think?
Oh, it just smoked us. Like, well, we were closed. It was 11 months
Yeah.
in 2 years.
Yeah, man.
So, like-
that was crazy. Every time they would close, I'll be like, man, I'm so confused on what to do now, man. I started taking on cooking. I started taking on the dumbest
No,
things, man. I
like,
was like,
being an owner of a shop during that time is probably so tough because then you still had to pay for rent and everything.
Yeah.
Bro,
And
same.
there was no like grace period where you can kind of just
That's
be
what
like,
people didn't realize. Some people are like, oh, you're getting the subsidies? No, if you started in 2020, which like I signed my lease January 2020,
Mhm.
you didn't get anything.
oh yeah, because your
Damn.
corporation
Yeah,
didn't hit the.
Yeah. I mean, I
that
worked as a
threshold,
barber
right?
for
Yeah.
13 years before that.
yeah.
But yeah, they didn't care. So it's a new corporation starting 2020.
Yeah.
And I was
that's
like,
true,
okay, you
man.
know what? There's a grace period. Starting a business, there's going to be, bumps in the road. I wasn't mad about it. No system's perfect after the first one. The second lockdown, they did the same shit. By the third one, they're still like, oh no, you opened in 2020. It's your fault. Yeah, you figure it out. It's like,
So you never got like
shit.
the CBA thing or whatever for like small businesses?
No.
That's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
because
Wow.
your corporation wasn't.
We didn't have income yet because we weren't allowed to work.
Yeah.
Oh,
We would have been.
man,
I could have
that's-
been banging out
that's-
cuts.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that was so tough, man. That's crazy.
Because
man.
like my brother and I, we worked at the shop. We worked at a different shop. We didn't open this one yet. So luckily for us, we didn't have that overhead of having to pay rent or anything. So we actually would either work at our house or do like house services. So we made a lot of money during that time. But we see the difference between being a business owner at that time and being just a regular barber. And in my opinion, I feel like being a regular barber at that time was way easier.
It was straight up. You guys know what it is now, right?
Yeah.
man. Bro. Like, what
It's
do
a
you
lot
think is
more
the
moving
hardest
parts.
part about being a business owner than being a barber?
It's a different hat for sure.
Mhm.
And I was aware of that going into it because I was fortunate that the spot that I was at for a long time, me and the owner there had a good relationship where like we would talk, and I saw him, he tried a ton of different things, and I got to kind of see firsthand what things worked, what things didn't work, and kind of like my own notepad, like, I wouldn't have done that. Maybe, oh, geez, he took a loss on that, and I thought that was a good idea. So I kind of got to just take notes over like a 12-year period of like what I wanted. And ultimately, for a long time, I was like, I don't think I want to own a shop because it's a lot more headaches, a lot more
Mhm.
moving
I used
parts.
to say
Mhm.
that to my brother all the time.
And it's not going to be more money in your pocket in a lot of
Mhm.
cases.
So what made you make that switch then?
To
From
be
wanting
honest-
to just be a barber to opening your shop.
To be able to control my own environment and control the people I work with,
Mhm.
which is like awesome. It seems like you guys have that dynamic,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like already being brothers in it.
Mhm.
Like if I had a brother that was also a barber and had like this type of relationship, I would have done it sooner,
for
probably.
sure, because
yeah.
like at the barbershop, there's so many egos that you have to, like manage.
For sure.
And like some certain people feel more entitled than the next person, or like, some person feels like the bottom bitch, like basically.
Yeah.
There's always that one guy at a barbershop where he's like the bottom bitch because he just started.
And in any business like partnership, I feel like it's so easy for people to build resentment. So it's hard to like create an atmosphere or a business relationship where like resentment isn't going to build down the road. So like you guys being brothers, like you're going to figure it out regardless, right? So that's like an awesome dynamic.
Well, I always tell people, so like we like to travel, but we can't travel together. So that's our number one rule. So what we'll do is, let's say Leo goes away for a week, and then the next 2 weeks he stays here, and then I go travel. So it's kind of like, I'm here at least, and then he can do whatever he wants. And then he's here, and then I can do whatever I want, So it makes it really nice to have like me and him together,
Yeah, there's
It's like
always going to
having
be that
two-
one guy
it's sick.
Yeah.
at the shop at all times. So when I'm away, Luigi would be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when Luigi's away, then I would be here.
Well, and that's
You know?
that's huge too, because that's a big part. Like this is
Mhm.
your baby, right?
Yeah.
You build your baby to have somebody that you can trust when you're away. Like you're always gonna have a little level of anxiety because you know that like your clients are waiting on you.
Yeah, man, because
still.
Luigi never gets shit done, man.
You're-
I just got hair, man. What would I do?
I always come back, so
You know?
I come back from vacation. There's like an incident where I had no more products on the store. I'm like, what the hell's going on here, man? And then I asked Luigi, and literally within 3 days, the shop is filled already. It literally just takes that 1 second.
Yeah, but
Luigi
I'm like,
sucks at that shit, man.
yeah, like, because I'll be fully booked. I'll have my clients, and then I'll have his clients, So by the end of the day, I'm like fully booked for the whole day, and the only thing I want to do is go home.
That's a
And
lie,
chill.
bro. He's just a lazy fuck. That's all he is.
well, that's it. It's hard to balance everything, right? Wearing different hats. You got to finish
Yeah,
cutting
yeah.
on a full day, and then be
Yeah.
like, yo, now I got to do some shop related stuff too.
So,
right?
what do you look for a barber? Like, if you want to hire them?
Honestly, like worth ethic. I feel like that's the hardest thing these days with like any trade is like people who want to be work and coachability, and everything else can be I think taught. But if you don't have worth ethic, you're not gonna pick it up. It's not contagious,
Do you look for
Mhm.
personality too? Because I feel like barbers, like especially nowadays, the market's so saturated. You need something that sets you apart. Like these guys, I could come in here, chill for 2 hours, talk with them the whole time. Like it's a fun environment,
For sure.
right?
Yeah, I think that's important for sure. Because you guys know how it is too.
Yeah.
You spend more time in the barbershop with the people that you're gonna work with than your family, than your girl, than
Yeah.
anybody really. So
Mhm.
they have to be good fits. But I think that different personalities are important because when it's a lot the same, that can bring out like just this one type of energy.
Yeah,
and
it's
one
gonna feel too
dynamic.
bland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like meeting
know?
people that are like the opposite of me almost. Like,
Yeah,
really
I can
quiet
see that,
people. And I'm
man.
like, I want to bring you out of your shell. And a lot of times those people make you listen more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
You
so
you mentioned like spending a lot of time at the shop, like spending more time with your employees more than your family. Like, how do you get that work-life balance? Because these guys, it's like 9 p.m. on a Thursday right now. You guys came in here at what, like 9, 10?
Yeah, I came at 10 in the morning.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
already 11 hours.
yeah, honestly, still trying to figure it out. For me, I worked like when I was younger, I was on this like hustle where it was like 60-hour weeks for a long time.
Mhm.
And then I'd had like, I don't know, 5 years with no vacation and like just grinding, right? But I was able to set myself up. I was able to like, get a house at a young age and
Mhm.
and those were like goals that I wanted. But you're always finding your balance, right? So
You ever feel burnt out?
Oh, yeah, I've definitely felt burnt out before, but I had a kid during the pandemic, and that
Mhm.
was a big reset for me.
That's dope, man. I can't
realizing,
wait
like,
for me to have a kid, man.
that's
To be
wicked,
honest,
right?
I've been trying to get my girl pregnant.
Yeah?
Leo wants like 6 kids, bro.
yeah, it's awesome, but you're never gonna sleep again. And honestly, that was a big eye opener for me for being like, you gotta have the balance of everything because like you can always I don't know, you can only do so many haircuts in a day.
Mhm.
And like still be like keep your quality up too. And there's a fine point there where people will also wait for you and they'll respect that you need to take more time.
You
for
ever feel like
yourself.
socially drained sometimes?
Oh yeah, all the time. Like when I get home, I don't want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to like decompress for sure because it's a lot, right?
See, I didn't even know what that felt like until like one of our guys here, his name is Richard. And then he did like, I don't know, like 10 guys one day. And he was like, oh man, I feel socially drained. I didn't know what that meant. Like it was never in my vocabulary, right? Until I actually started looking into it. And I was like, man, now I'm starting to feel like I'm socially drained all the time.
Yeah.
Like, why did
It's
you put that in my
awful, man.
vocabulary, I hate
That's
you, Richard.
man. That's my excuse to like everything now. Every time I'm tired, I'll just be like, "Yo, I'm socially
I'm
drained,"
socially
And
drained.
and then I just don't
It's a
talk
good
to anyone.
catchphrase.
I'll
Yeah,
go
man.
like put my AirPods in, and I'm just like,
Baby, I can't argue right now. I'm socially drained.
Yeah, exactly. That's the shit, man. So I know you mentioned that you were saying that the barber game was way different from then to now.
Oh yeah.
So how were you getting clients back then?
Yo,
because
so that's one of the things I admire about
You guys have appointments?
Oh yeah, but it was on Excel spreadsheet.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, we-
crazy.
And I still know
Whoa.
barbers that do that shit, bro. You guys don't know the
What?
you
Like
guys don't know the
manually
hustle.
plugging it
Bro,
in.
manually. Everything
That's
was a text.
crazy.
No
You're
way.
getting text 2 a.m. still, like, yo, just and you'd have to always. so
Anyone
you
do
were
like
your own
on
secretary.
paper and pen or something?
Yeah,
or?
and I still know some guys that like can't give it up where they won't try online booking and they still do that shit. They still like text messages all day. They're a secretary and they're a barber and they just like don't want to try the online booking thing because
Oh,
they're stuck in
that's-
their
Oh,
ways.
that
It's
is
wild.
That is too
Spreadsheet
much
is
work,
crazy
man.
to me,
But that's
man.
what it was, man. That's what it was for forever.
The last
So-
time I used Excel was in high school, man.
Yeah.
So how would you get like new clients like back then? So would it be like word of mouth or is it
honestly, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's the one thing I admire about like you guys. It's so foreign to me, like the social media stuff. The like, yo, we're gonna do a podcast, and that's good cross promotion.
Mhm.
Like that's just so foreign to me because I'm a caveman when it comes to technology.
Oh, trust me too, man. It's just these
And,
guys.
like-
So Lauren is the one that put us on,
Sick with it,
bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how to edit nothing, man.
Yeah,
like,
like-
because they're more younger than me. So
and like yeah, content for Instagram, any of that. Like that's definitely my weakest suit. But
Mhm.
I built everything with just word of mouth and like just old school, right? Like
But
Don't
that
worry, you
just
got Lauren
shows you
now, bro.
like your original clients, you know, that means they fuck with you heavy because it's just like, oh, this guy, you know, he doesn't really have social media like that and like, you know, but still gives a great
yeah,
haircut.
man, that's crazy.
So it's
bro.
like-
How you
sure.
it's
built
a good
a
thing too,
about
you
no
know?
social media.
yeah, like I still have I have an Instagram and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I don't like utilize it nearly as
Yeah.
much. I just use it as like a contact thing for anything. I'll put up
Yeah.
like a story, like appointment open at this time, just to like fill stuff.
Mhm.
But that's something I want to start doing more is like utilizing that for
Mhm.
the shop. 'cause
Like I said,
obviously
man, you
it's a
got
huge
Lauren right
tool.
here now, bro. That's the
Yeah,
guy.
man.
Yeah.
That's the guy. He put us on. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit you up, bro.
All right, man. So, to like the new barbers, like, how do you, like, do you have any, like tips and like,
Advice for them.
and advice for them?
Time in the shop. Like
Mhm.
a lot of guys want the clientele and they want like I feel like it's cool to be a barber now. When I got
Mhm.
into it, it wasn't really cool. Like you tell people and they'd be like, "Oh, are you gonna be able to pay the bills? Like, is that a cool like you know?" And now it's like guys are glorified. It's almost like, "Yo, you're a rapper if you're a barber." Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's
man.
like
Yeah.
guys have mixtapes. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know
How do you
what's
feel?
going on.
How do you feel about that culture though?
I think it's cool. I think it's cool if you want to like it glorify it as all that it is. But there's a lot of guys I think that are so showy and think it's cool and they're forgetting
Mhm.
you're supposed to cut hair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And some guys
exactly,
can't
man.
cut or they're not actually they're like I want to do the blurry fade and they don't even care to learn the scissors.
Like their
Mhm.
egos get too big.
And
Yeah,
like-
exactly. I can see that.
I almost find it a little disrespectful to the craft. Like you
Yeah.
gotta know.
Especially you've been like a barber for so long, man. Like, did you guys have enhancements when you first started, man?
No.
Those things come
So how
with
do you
Yeah.
age.
feel about enhancements?
I'm not big on the enhancements thing. I think that anything in moderation is cool, but too much of anything
Yeah.
it's whack. And
Mhm.
there's definitely some guys that are it's too drawn on.
Bro,
It's
the
too-
enhancements, bro, is too much,
Too much,
man.
yeah.
Like
Too
I feel the
much.
same way as you, man, because like I feel like a haircut should last minimum 2 weeks when you do like a skin fade.
100%. Well,
Or something,
that's
you
where
know?
I think the mark of a good haircut isn't that it grows out. It is that it grows out, and in 2 weeks you can still style it and still think it looks cool, and not
Mhm.
like, oh
Mhm.
man, I got to do it again because it's
I
not
get-
sitting
I get a
right
haircut
anymore,
every 3
right?
days.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does.
This guy lives part time in Ottawa. He's in school, so he
Yeah, I'm still in
flies
school.
all the way from Ottawa.
From Ottawa back,
Yeah.
bro. That's your most loyal. That's your
Oh,
most
100%.
Bro, it's been
You
like
know
what's
4 or
crazy?
5 years.
So we have Verdeep, and we have like 5 or 6 other guys who's like Verdeep comes every like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mhm.
That's
And
crazy.
you know, it's so funny. Like they're so jokes. One guy, Hugh, I think we were open for like a year or something. He had like 56 appointments.
Yeah,
That's
he
crazy.
hasn't missed
Show-
a single.
yeah.
He hasn't missed a single week since we opened.
Since we opened.
I got guys that are definitely like that are weeklies for sure. But
Mhm.
have you guys noticed that since the pandemic, a lot of your guys who are weekly are bi-weeklies? Guys who are bi-weekly are maybe like every third week or fourth week, like guys spreading out their cuts more.
I feel that with my realtor clients, like as of late.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then I would ask them, I'm like, oh, yo, where have you been? And they'll be like, oh, houses are not selling, and like the interest rate is just mango.
Oh, like
Bro,
they're
nothing's selling right
Oh
now.
like,
yeah,
yeah, man.
so
the housing
yeah,
market.
they
is
just
getting,
tell me
like,
they just
raped
tell
right
me they're
now.
like, I don't really need a haircut because I'm not selling a house. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You used to come every week.
Well, it's
and
normally your sales guys you see the most, no?
Yeah.
Like that's what I've always noticed. It's
Yeah,
like
me
too.
sales
No,
guys are they going
real
to be your
estate
guys who
slowed
book in
down.
the most comp.
Well,
He's
I
a real
know-
estate agent,
Yeah.
actually.
I
Oh,
know
no
one
way.
of your
Yeah.
weekly guys. I think Darcy.
Oh, but yeah.
So that guy is sick, man. Like I play poker with him every Monday.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then, like
he's a
I
joke.
see him with like the sick fade. Like every time I'm like, "Yo, Darcy." I was like, "Yo, how often you get your haircut?" He's like, "Every Thursday, bro." I was
Yeah.
like, "Lad, you're
Yeah.
a sick client, you
His-
know."
His booking too, he's next level. He'll like he tells me he like snipes the because my schedule right now is like a month and a half out.
Mhm.
So he's like figuring out ways on the app to like get notified right away because he wants his same time so that he'll like snipe it again. I'm like, bro, you're committed. Like
That's
he's
so
an
funny.
organized
Yo, that
dude.
is so
Bro, it's
funny.
better than me. I just show up randomly.
Yeah, you just show up
Yeah.
randomly,
Yeah.
man.
And
This
then
guy
we
just comes up
find
and like, yo, you
time.
need a
Yeah.
haircut? Okay, here you go.
Sometimes
man.
this
You
guy
know?
will wait like 2-3 hours and we'll just like chill in the what's it
Yeah.
called in our break room. So we have like a PlayStation in the break room.
Yo, sick.
So we'll play like FIFA for like 2 hours or whatever,
No.
whatever it is. And
Luigi-
See,
Luigi's
this is what I'm
actually a
talking
real
about, man.
one, bro.
Luigi's lazy, bro. I told
No,
you.
I'm not
Luigi's a
lazy,
real
bro.
one. He shaved my back today, bro.
yeah, see,
Hey,
No
hey,
barber would
pause,
do that.
man. Pause.
No.
Don't do that.
Baby, bro. Come on.
Whoa.
Yo, pause.
Was that in the back room?
That's in the
It was so funny because I was like, man, he's tall. He's like 6'5". I'm like 5'10".
Bro,
you
he
know?
has me doing an air squat for 10
I was like
minutes.
this. I was like, yo, squat, you fucking Sasquatch. You're so tall, man.
That was a mission.
But yeah, that's when you know he's a real one, man. It's an A1 client. You got to do the service. You know, he's going to Miami. Got to look good.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what, actually, man.
Yeah,
you know
I never
love,
shaved
man?
nobody's back. You guys, yeah, I guess that's
Oh, bro,
It's a
you only do
top-tier
it for the
service.
dogs, you
Yeah.
know? Because, you know?
Yo, you've done it for Luca.
Yeah, I did it for Luca, bro.
You're shaving back.
Yeah.
No, so I think Luca was going to, I think he was going to Mexico. And then he's like, yo, man, I'll go home and shave my back. I'm like, yo, soft, man, I'll do it for you, dog.
Yo, Luigi wanted to do my chest. I'm like, no, that's too intimate.
I did my one boy like he's like, yo, can you like trim my chest or whatever, because he's my dog, right? He came home and I drew a penis in his chest. And then he comes home, his wife's like, what the fuck are you guys doing at the barbershop, man?
You
Yeah,
guys
that
really
shit
out
was
here
the
doing
funniest shit, man.
doing body trims too. Yo,
It's a
gotta
top-tier
get it.
service.
Yeah, just for the dogs, man.
Only for the dogs.
Yeah, you can't
No,
book that
hey, no
online.
one books a back trim. All right, I'm not available.
Man, you know what I love at your store, man? Lauren, man.
yeah.
Oh, she's the best, man.
She's
Yeah,
awesome.
man,
the
I
best.
love
She's
Lauren,
a real
man.
one.
Like when I used to work with her, like she just, you know, she was just so welcoming and like, and it's so good that like, you know, like even though like our shops are close to each other and we're still like basically trading business with each other, which
Yeah,
is
man.
amazing, man. I think a lot of barbers need to understand that we should do that for each other.
For sure. Well, everybody eats. Like the only time that people are worried, I think, about like, oh, this open up is if you're insecure about something.
Mhm.
Like
Exactly.
there's
man.
enough hair doesn't stop growing. There's
Mhm.
enough clients to go around. It's not like again, like when where I was working at before in Streetsville, there's like 24 hair places in a small place.
Exactly.
Everyone was eating. Everyone was in business.
Mhm.
There's a client for everybody. Every shop isn't going to be the shop that person goes to.
Mhm.
But having good spots around is better for you. It ups the value of haircuts. It ups the
Exactly.
value of services. And the only time that people are worried is if they're the top, like the bottom
Yeah,
guys.
see, like,
Yeah.
And that just
I
means
say
that
it
you're
all the
doing
time.
something wrong. Like you
Yeah.
got to do
like if
something
you're
better.
insecure about your business, just because another person opens up right beside you, like it's not gonna change. Like you've already been insecure about your business.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, it's just coming. It's just now there's a mirror in front of
Yeah,
you.
Yeah, like
exactly.
you
You know?
should use it like as like a learning opportunity. Like, yo, I gotta step it up. I want the clients here. Not
Yeah.
like, oh, I hope they don't get clients. You
or we
just
could
gotta,
just
like,
grow together.
Yeah.
Like what I'm
It's just
talking
it's just
about.
weak mentality. It's
Mhm.
like anything. Like I don't know. It's like if you're out of shape and you're there's like an in shape guy walks in the room, you're gonna hate on him, or you're gonna be like, oh man, maybe I
Yeah,
should be
exactly.
better in
That's
shape.
That's
or
why I
something.
rate that
Like,
so hard, man. How like we're just basically like trading business.
Yeah,
even though,
like
we're just, you know, like
it's
right
good,
across from
yeah.
each other. Like it's awesome, man. Like I stopped by there and like with my scooter in the summer.
Yeah,
Remember in the
man.
summer, I'll just be in the scooter. I'll be like, yo, what's up, Colin? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like that's what I love about us right now, you know? Because like I feel like in the industry right now, everyone has like a target on each other's back.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which
There's
is-
there's people that want to like outdo other people, but I also think it's like, yeah, there's a shop. There's a shop for everybody. Like,
Mhm.
and I just don't think that's necessary. I feel like a lot of the shops here in Oakville have been really cool. Like, because you definitely do get that, even though that's your mentality. Sometimes people still want to hate and they still want to.
Mm.
I think that's
talk
where
crap,
personality
but-
comes in. Like as a client, you're gonna connect with a certain barber more than another. and like you feel like I feel like being comfortable with your barber is really important. Like, yo, I want to try this out. How do you think it'll look? Like if I want, like when I get a comb over, Leo's like, don't do it, man. Like it'll look terrible. Like I like the honesty, but I still do it. But
Yeah.
So do you see a difference with like the clientele with Oakville and like Mississauga?
To be honest, I retained a lot of my clientele from Mississauga because a lot of the guys already were coming from Oakville. They were coming from Hamilton or wherever. So I probably retained like 70% of my clientele.
Oh, that's amazing,
80% of my
bro.
clientele coming from Mississauga. But from the people that I met here, a lot of different different age brackets we get. Like everyone up to like, you know, got a lot of even seniors and stuff. They come in. Definitely a little bit different clientele, I would say, but not like not crazy different.
Yeah, because I see the difference from like when like just a North Oakville and like this is not even like 15 minutes away. I see a huge difference from like my clients now to like my clients in North Oakville.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's like when I first moved there, I was like, whoa, like it's like I feel like I get way more kids here.
Oh, kids, eh? Yeah.
I get so much more kids
'Cause,
here
like,
in like
North-
Third Street.
North
Yeah, I wouldn't
Oakville-
have thought young either because I feel like I don't know, Bound by the Lake's kind of like older money, kind of
Yeah.
like it's a
But,
bigger.
yeah,
bigger
STA's
property.
ST is
right
just
there.
right there.
Just
Blake
the
That's
hustle
where,
right
yeah.
there, yeah.
Because North Oakville, I feel like they're just newcomers to Oakville. You know, like you know the new builds. by
Yeah,
Dundas
yeah,
in
yeah.
that area. So it's like guys who are starting their family and stuff like that. They're like mostly in IT. Like
Yeah, it
IT
was
guys,
mostly
right?
IT guys.
It's
I
mostly
was
IT
doing
guys.
that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like cut and stuff.
bro,
I'd
that's
be-
the immigration area.
yeah.
Because the pre-cons, like I think, went on sale like almost 7-8 years ago now, and they
Mhm.
got finished.
There was a
what,
time
4
where I
years
had
ago?
like 7 same last names, man.
Yeah.
You know what last names I'm talking about? It's all Sings. Yeah, that's so funny. Okay, on the segment, would you rather, Luigi?
Would I rather?
Would you rather?
Yo, ask the-
Yeah, ask the
Oh,
question,
ask the
man.
question? No.
Yeah.
That's okay, so would you rather have unlimited money and all the time in the world, or no,
No.
time?
It's the opposite. Would you rather have
Sorry, go
unlimited
ahead.
unlimited money, or no free time, or unlimited free time but no money?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, unlimited
What
time.
he said.
Money is the most renewable resource we got. You can always make more money. You can't make more time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. Like I would rather have all the free time in the world because I can give a shit about no money. Because I would rather spend as much time as possible with everyone that I love.
Yeah, but what are you
You
gonna
know?
do with like no money at all?
Yeah.
I
don't know.
but can I? Do I have
But-
the ability to make more money?
Yeah, do I have the ability to
Or
make
is it
money
like,
or no?
Or is it like you're
Like
broke
you-
forever? Like you're
I wouldn't
you're
say
hit
you're
with a
broke.
curse.
I'd say you're like living paycheck to paycheck.
Fuck
Like,
that shit.
You got just
I don't want
enough.
to fucking
So-
live paycheck to paycheck, dog. You know?
but I like I don't know. I feel like that's just like
Like you're not struggling, but you got just enough to cover your house.
But do you
all
have the
your bills.
ability to do it, or do you have like some kind of injury or something? That,
Yeah.
like, I'm not allowed to work.
This
no more?
question sucks, man. Like, what is this, man?
Okay, another one, Verdeep. Go ahead.
All right, let me think. Would you rather be able to learn every language fluently or talk to animals?
Damn.
That's
I would
actually
rather
crazy.
talk to animals because I have Google Translate.
Yeah, I feel like talk to animals because I'd be the only guy with that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I would
Like,
figure out a way to make more money.
Yo,
off
you
it.
guys
Yeah.
travel a lot. Like imagine going anywhere in the world, you can understand.
Yeah, I
everyone,
feel like mine for me is like all the language in the world. I love traveling. I like speaking to other. You know, like it's sick.
I went to Korea and I didn't speak a single
But see,
word
imagine
of Korean. I just used Google Translate like this. I
Yeah,
was
but
like,
imagine how
"Ah,"
sick
and
it
then
would
boom,
be. Like
Korean.
you go
Yeah.
Korea, you can speak fluent Korean.
Or would you rather talk?
What
To
are
a
you gonna
narwhal,
talk to a
fam.
to
dog
an animal
about, bro?
boat. Like, what are
You're
you
not gonna have a
talk to?
deep conversation. He's
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Yo, where's
To like
my
a
food?"
bird, let's say.
I'm gonna ask. Oh yeah, where have you been the past like month?
He's gonna
See?
be like, "Get the fuck out! Why are you talking?"
Hey man, what is called? I want to know what the birds are thinking.
I'd pick languages.
I
for
pick
sure,
languages too.
I
100%.
pick talking to animals.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to animals. I think.
That's
Yeah.
Easy.
Because I think it's also that I've talked to enough humans already, Barber.
Oh,
For real, bro. Like I said, Google Translate is there. You go. You could just use Google Translate. You could have every single language in the world, but you can't have Google Translate for animals.
Bro, I feel like animals aren't interesting though. Like,
yeah, but there's a lot of interesting people outside of
Yeah.
North America. You know, like I went to Vietnam and I wish I knew how to speak Vietnamese because some of the people there, they just look interesting to me.
Yeah, like people have stories. Like animals,
Yeah.
it's like whatever.
Like, bro, imagine like the Vietnam War. Like, I'm interested in history. Like, I'm like a history nerd, and I went to the place where they had like the Vietnam War versus like America and stuff. Bro, there's like this one place. It's called Coochie or Cuchie or whatever the place is called. Yeah,
That's like Gucci.
but basically they would hide in like little tunnels, and the tunnels would be like this small, and like I don't know how people like fit in there. And apparently they had like a whole system, like kitchen,
like a little
like,
bunker, right?
yeah, like a little bunker. So like I wanted to ask those questions of like, man, how did anyone survive like down there for like 2 months? And then what they do is they literally like at nighttime they would just pop out, start shooting people,
That's crazy.
and like there's like histories about
sneak
it.
attacks.
Yeah,
though,
sneak
right?
attacks,
so-
you know?
That's messed up, man.
Crazy.
That's some jungle like
But I wanted
jungle warfare
But
shit.
imagine,
bro.
so like I had like the tour guide. I wanted to ask him questions, but I didn't know how to speak Vietnamese. So imagine
Use your
Yeah.
cell phone.
how I had no Wi-Fi. You're out in the middle. This was like in the jungle.
Mm.
Yeah, you got
This
you
tour
there.
guide was like
No
in the
Google
jungle, you
Translate
know?
there.
I don't know,
Can't-
man. LTU works everywhere.
But if you
You're
could talk
rich,
to
that's
animals, you
why.
could have asked the elephant because he probably had an uncle.
Exactly. See, you can literally be like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So the elephant be like, "Da-da-da," do some Vietnamese, like, "Nok mang,"
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
All right, so we gotta wrap this up, man.
Thank you guys for listening to our 3rd episode, Snow Day edition. Thank you to Colin for
Mm.
Dope,
Plug your
guys.
shop and Instagram.
Yeah.
real
Dope,
quick.
guys. Thanks
Yeah,
for
man.
having us. The shop is Lakeshear Barbershop. We're just down here on Lakeshore. Our Insta is Lakeshear Barbershop on Instagram. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for having
Yeah,
me,
man.
guys.
Thank you
and
for
if you guys
dope.
ever want to get braided, like Lauren,
That's the spot.
she's amazing.
That's
she's
the
the
spot
one.
right there.
You know,
She's the
she can
one.
braid, she can fade,
Fade.
she'll get you right.
Yeah,
you know?
Yes,
she's a
sir.
triple threat. She's
Yeah,
the hot
she's-
towel shave. She's got it all, man.
everything,
She's,
Yeah.
everything.
she's it, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for coming,
Yeah,
man.
thank
Like, I
you, Colin.
appreciate you, bro.
Yo, thank you guys.
Yes,
for having me,
sir.
man. It was dope.
Awesome.